What do you got? Well, see what you make of this.
When looking into the history of the Space Jockey, besides the prequels, two sources are usually mentioned: the Outbreak trilogy and its follow-up The Alien, and Aliens Apocalypse: The Destroying Angels. Yet often forgotten is their involvement in the novel Aliens Original Sin. Released in 2005, the book would be a follow-up to the film Alien Resurrection, and here the pilot's race, or Malakak, are not directly featured in the story, but they are a major player in the background. The android Call, upon hacking into the files of EarthGov, or the Earth's governments, learns that through a shadow group called Loki, named for the trickster god, that EarthGov has been making deals with the Malakak for hundreds of years. In fact, they are the ones responsible for the Nostromo's LV-426 investigation. Weyland-Yutani didn't send the ship to Acheron because they picked up the derelict's beacon. They did it because Loki told them that the Malakak, along with its deadly cargo of xeno-ovomorphs, was there. And in usual Alien Universe fashion, EarthGov wanted the alien, here called the Encephalopod, to use as a bioweapon. In the world of Original Sin, Weyland-Yutani seems to be a puppet of Loki and the EarthGov, or at the very least, they aren't as in control of things as they normally are. The Malakak are an ancient alien species, and apparently, sterility has become a problem and has grown worse with each succeeding generation. The xenomorphs, however, are remarkably fertile, and by experimentation, they learned that with a little alien DNA, they could fix their reproductive problems. But to extract it, they would need a fresh supply of aliens. They knew that they could use their own people as hosts, but they didn't want to inflict pain and death on members of their own species. So they negotiated with us in secret for a supply of humans. Entire colonies of people would be given over to them in exchange for clearance to mine the mineral-rich worlds that the pilot's people had already laid claim to. At the time of the Nostromo mission, the space jockeys had access to aliens and needed human hosts in order to make them. But by the time of Alien Resurrection, they must need both aliens and humans, as we find them trading alien technology for a colony of already infected people. This idea of the Malakak becoming sterile and needing alien DNA to fix it would get reused in John Spade's first outline for Prometheus, called Alien 01: The Master Narrative. But it wouldn't appear in any later drafts, although it would show up in a few fake fan scripts. After all, a species that can create life at will would likely just clone themselves or use fertility treatments like the ones currently used here on Earth to once again reproduce. Unlike the engineers, the space jockeys of Original Sin are not the creators of mankind, or of the xenomorph. But they were able to create a new strain of alien using their own DNA. It was more formidable than the original strain, had a slightly different color, and a larger head, but most notably, their facehuggers could deposit or create dozens of bursters in a host, allowing the alien to spread even faster, something we'd see later with the Pred alien. Now unfortunately, the book never goes into detail on the design of its iteration of the space jockey. Ripley 8 does note that the original example in the pilot's chair on LV-426 was 5 meters tall, and that it was covered in alien resin. A curious observation that's never been made before. Though this statement should be taken with a grain of salt, as she says that Dallas sent images of the pilot back to her on the Nostromo. When in the film, they were unable to communicate with each other during the investigation. Earlier in the book, she would also theorize that the alien that came out of the pilot on Acheron was a queen, and that it was responsible for the eggs in the ship's cargo hold. This lends credence to the idea that the Malakak were not the creators of the alien, but it also ignores the fact that at the time of the Nostromo mission, they would have been collecting alien eggs to make xenomorphs for their DNA. Which representation of the pilot's race is your favorite? Aliens Outbreak, Aliens Apocalypse, Original Sin, or the Engineers? To learn more about the Outbreak or Apocalypse jockeys, or Alien 01: The Master Narrative, check out one of these videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.